We'll be having Dr. Karen Phillip, our counselling psychotherapist and hypnotherapist, on the program very soon. So if you're having some problems in your life, it might be due with the stress of Christmas. Might be to do with family issues because of Christmas. But Karen has a range of different areas she works in. We've been hearing over the weeks and the months about how hypnotherapy can help with addictions, give up smoking, problems to do with alcohol, problems to do with gambling, behavioural change in general. So she'll be on the program very soon on 131873, ready to take your calls. Now, 131873 is the number. This is one of our regular parts of what we do Saturday nights with Warren Moore. Our counselling, psychotherapist and hypnotherapist is Dr. Karen Phillip. How are you, Karen? Merry Christmas.
Great, thanks, Warren. Merry Christmas to you and all the listeners.
Absolutely. We've talked about so many different aspects of what you do and how hypnotherapy and psychotherapy can help people over the last few weeks. But I guess Christmas, while it's a time of happiness, and it is for most people, can also bring or highlight some of the problems in life, can't it?
Yeah, it can. Usually if people are celebrating Christmas alone, if they're apart from their family, it can be a very difficult time for so many.
Can indeed, and really, I guess also that can show the problems in a relationship because of the stresses of Christmas.
Yes, it can. It seems to escalate pretty much everything. I mean, by the time the end of the year comes, we're usually really tired. We've been spending so much time and often money preparing for Christmas and organising things and shopping and preparing, and it really does seem to take its toll, unfortunately, once Christmas Day happens. I think once we wake up and Christmas has arrived, we usually take a big breath and go, oh, yeah. Yeah.
We do. It can be a long day, though, as well. I'm particularly talking about kids here, and particularly kids in split families, where there's that expectation that the kid's going to wake up wherever it wakes up, with whichever biological parent, and be excited, and then equally be as excited at the end of the day if it meets up with the other biological parent.
Oh, look, yes, absolutely. Kids and Christmas are just hand in hand for a start, and most children are just so excited throughout the day. And it's the parents that usually are the ones that are grieving if they're not with their children in the morning or the evening. But the kids, they just have a wonderful time regardless of who they're with and where they are. You know, they've got new gifts, they've seen members of the family and maybe cousins that they hadn't seen for a good part of the year. And they just have an amazing day. They usually run on adrenaline pretty much most of the day, actually. So they're just so excited. And hopefully by the end of the afternoon or the evening, depending on the age, they will crash out and have the most amazing memories of a brilliant day shared with so many people.
Which is what we hope for. 131873, by the way, if you want to speak to Dr. Karen Phillip, family counsellor and hypnotherapist, psychotherapist. Well, look, I think what you're right about, the kids having a great time is the issue, isn't it? You also are right in saying it's the parents that are grieving, and that jealousy that can be there in comparing whether a child's happier at one time of day or another time of day.
Yeah, look, I think all parents want their children to be happy the whole time, regardless of who they're with. And while some of the parents who unfortunately don't get to spend the whole day with their children, if they're loving and kind parents, which I think most of them all are, they want to ensure that their children are happy, whoever they're with, and that they're enjoying themselves and that they're safe and they're having a celebration, which is what Christmas is all about. It is about giving and it is about sharing. And as long as our children can experience that, I think most parents are pretty happy.
Okay. We're going to take a break, Karen. We'll be back in just a moment talking about things such as the expectation of Christmas. Dr. Karen Phillip taking your calls, 131873, 20 past 9. It's 20 past 8 in Queensland.
You're listening to Warren Moore on 2GB 873, the Power Station.
And Dr. Karen Phillip is with us. We'll take calls in just a moment. Just before we get to that, though, I have to get back to the Google Santa Tracker. I can tell you right now, and you can look this up yourself if you like. It's great fun for kids. I have to say this. So good on them for doing it. Because I've got no reason for plugging Google, but for the fact I think it's a wonderful thing they've done. So Santa at the moment is about, I reckon, 1,500 kilometres off the coast of Japan's main island, where Tokyo is, in the Pacific Island, and heading south, which is where we are, which is good news. How are you, Karen? Still there?
Yes, I'm still here, Warren.
There we go. Now, I think we've got Brian on the line for you. G'day, Brian.
Hi.
Yes, what's your question for Karen?
I'd just like to ask for a question.
Yes, sure, Brian. What's the question?
If an 86-year-old person in a nursing home was suffering from a broken hip, only a small fracture in their hip, why would they give up walking, and would they benefit from psychotherapy?
Well, they shouldn't give up walking. Well, they certainly can't walk when they've got a broken hip, that's for sure. So we have to wait till that mends, till the bone mends. And then, of course, they should be getting back up and they should be doing some physio. Psychotherapy, well, that would help if they were struggling with any sort of fears of walking and falling again. So the psychotherapy can certainly help them overcome those fears. But, you know, sort of being on a walking frame and having some physio would certainly benefit them, yes.
Well, this person has never had any assistance whatsoever, and they've got her on pain morphine tablets.
Oh dear.
And,
well, certainly they should be. Perhaps you can inquire at the nursing home about physios and about getting the person up on a frame and starting to walk to use those use the muscles again once the bone is healed.
Oh, I have.
Muscles need to be relearn what they have to do.
Oh, I have 6 times.
Oh dear.
So, Brian, your concern is that while there's obviously a physical problem, you're worried that there's also a psychological problem stopping the person you're talking about from getting back on their feet?
That's right.
So did you say that they haven't been offered any physio, or that the person is...
No, I asked 6 times, but the point is that I am not the carer. Therefore, they don't talk to me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's a bit regrettable. Well, perhaps talking to the person... If you're not able to discuss it with the person who is the patient, perhaps their carer, but certainly...
No, I can talk to the patient, all right.
Right. Well, if you could get somebody to come in, there's depending where the nursing home is, there's a lot of therapists that do visits within nursing homes and hospitals. So get someone to go in and talk to your friend and help them, sort of get some sort of confidence back in them. Now that could be a psychotherapist, it could be a hypnotherapist. Often hypnotherapists are very, very good to do this sort of work with people that are experiencing some sort of fear, because we can reduce the fear and have them with support, obviously, a walking frame or a nurse, to start walking again and start using their muscles.
And they haven't got the staff.
Right. Well, if you can call a therapist that's in the local area, they would obviously charge a fee, but to go in there and work with your friend and at least start that movement back into their body.
Okay, good on you, Brian. Thank you for your call. Hello, Helen.
Hi, how are you,
Very well.
How are you?
Hi, Helen.
How are you? I just wanted to say that last week I tried your virtual hypnotherapy session on smoking, and it was wonderful.
Terrific.
I've been a smoker for 30 years, and I haven't had a cigarette since. I've tried everything, Nicorettes, inhalers, I've tried the Champix tablets. Nothing seemed to work, but I just loved it, and I just found it easy and relaxing, and I just wanted to thank you very much. It actually has worked.
So did it work within an hour? Because that's what you were saying, Karen. Did it work within an hour, Helen?
Yes, I have not had a cigarette since I listened to it. It's just been wonderful.
Well, you've lost the craving, or...?
No, because every time I start to crave, I would just relax and go through my mind again, and it has just helped me so much. I can't believe how much it has helped me.
Good on you. Well, that's you, Helen. You've processed all the suggestions, so well done and congratulations. And that's what it's supposed to do, and well done. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Good on you, Helen.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on the show. 131873 is our number. Email via 2gb.com, 4bc.com.au. Well, there you go. There's a testimony for you, Karen.
Yes. Oh, look, I hear them all the time. It's absolutely, it's so humbling when people either drop you an email or, as Helen has just rung up, and it really is wonderful to hear. And people don't realise how they can just stop smoking using hypnotherapy. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, well, you hear of how many ways people try, and we talk about the patches and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they do it. I hear that all the time from people. I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried that, just like Helen said. And they finally do the hypnotherapy and they go, oh, my God, I wish I'd done this before.
So just to recap on that, why is it the hypnotherapy works? What's the message in the hypnotherapy session?
Well, with the virtual session, and in my rooms, I do what we call a psychotherapy session first. So I talk to people to basically re-empower them, because most people, when they arrive, they feel that they've got no control, they've got no power over this thing, this cigarette. And we give it back to them. We give them the power back, and we explain to them why they've got the power and how they can regain the power. We go through breathing exercises with them. And then when they relax down and they do the hypnotherapy session, all of those suggestions are just embedded into their subconscious mind, and they open their eyes and they feel that they're in control. And then off they go. And they are, in fact, in control.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's 9:30, 8:30 in Queensland. We'll be back with Dr. Karen Phillip in just a moment.
You're listening to Warren Moore on 2GB 873, the Power Station.
And we're joined by Dr. Karen Phillip, still on the program, our hypnotherapist, counselling psychotherapist and family counsellor. Karen, we took those calls. I forgot to get back to that main point I was saying about dealing with expectations on Christmas, because I know this can be tough, particularly when you're talking about kids who may have asked for something that's just not possible, either because the family is doing it a bit tough or it was just unreal. The child has unrealistic expectations. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, you know what I've found is that a lot of children have their wish list.
Yep.
But a lot of them don't actually always expect everything that is going to be given to them on that wish list. They live in a family. They usually understand the limitations of their family. And I feel that, look, most parents do everything they can to accommodate the child's wish list. Will they get everything? Of course not. Most don't, regardless of your economic circumstances. But I think most children are very grateful and happy to receive any gift from Santa Claus. And most kids understand that Santa Claus can only give what Santa Claus can give and, of course, fit in his sleigh.
Yes.
So if they want a few things and Santa can only give them one or two, then that's because Santa couldn't fit any more in the sleigh. And kids really accept that beautifully. It's the parents that seem to have the feeling of perhaps a little guilt because they weren't able to fulfill all the wishes of the child. But you know what? That is really a little bit unfair for the parents to feel that, because the kids are happy with whatever they get. They're happy that their family is there, that they're having joy, they're having love, that they're giving and receiving. And I really do think that is the most important thing, even for our children, even for our young kids. They get it. They really do get it. And I think we shortchange our kids a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's something in that as well. I mean, of course, tomorrow, sadly, there's the family that gets together once a year and works out why they only get together once a year. We all know that.
Sometimes it can be a tad strange.
Yeah, it can. I mean, what do you do about that relative is the one that's, has a couple and then gets out of hand, or alternatively, there's just some inherent personality clash in the family?
Look, there often is the odd personality clash. It could be things that are coming up from years beyond, that they've clashed every year. All I suggest to people, and people do come into the counselling room and give me a call about this from time to time.
Yeah.
And I think you had a caller a couple of weeks ago with a similar issue.
Yeah, we did.
I always say to them, look, Christmas is a time for loving, sharing and giving. It's not a time to have arguments or personality disagreements. Understand that if you do have a family member that is a little strange for you, to go in with the idea and the attitude of Santa Claus. And Santa Claus, when you go and visit Santa Claus and sit on his knee at the shopping centre, there could be the odd person that sort of says things to Santa Claus that Santa Claus may not appreciate from time to time,
yes.
Whether that be an adult or a child.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of putting on a brave face, a smiling face, and being kind, being patient, being loving, being giving. So if the person is, a little bit challenging for you, then that's okay. You may not see them again for another 6 or 12 months, but they're family.
That's it.
And with family, we do tolerate and we do forgive and we are kind. And that is the meaning of Christmas.
That is the meaning of Christmas. As they say, we can choose our friends. We don't get to choose our family.
Exactly.
Oh, blood is thicker than water. I can use the cliches all night, I suppose.
You can.
Good on you, Karen. Thanks so much. By the way, the website and includes, even though we didn't touch on it, well, we did touch on it because of that caller, but it wasn't the main highlight or piece tonight, was to do with the smoking hypnotherapy session. Available at drkarenphillip.com. That's drkarenphillip.com, right?
That's right. And I've got that session, because it's Christmas, I've got weight and smoking. Tonight for discounted sessions for those wanting to prepare for their New Year's resolutions. So jump onto drkarenphillip.com and there's the code word SLIM for the weight and STOP for the smoking, and they can still get They're discounted sessions and start today.
There's a point. I guess we'll be talking about New Year's resolutions at some stage.
Yes.
Okay, good on you, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks, Warren, and have a wonderful Christmas, everybody.
There you go. Thank you very much. Happy Christmas.